Hey guys, welcome back to Tamiya Legends, and once again, thank you for stopping by. So in this video, we're going to build my TRF415 MSXX 2007 Marc Rheinard edition. That's a mouthful. There's been many 415 variations over the years, all from when Tamiya were absolutely dominating the 110th touring car scene. Marc Rheinard, the Tamiya driver at the time, won the Reed International with this particular car, so Tamiya brought the kit out the year later. As I said, 415 MSXX 2007 Marc Rheinard edition, because there's a 2006 model as well. So yeah, this is a particular kit that I wanted for my collection. We are going to get it out running. So this will be a 3-part video series. In this video, we'll build the full chassis. In the second video, we'll fit electrics and we'll fit a superb body shell I've had painted for it. And then in the third one, we'll get it out running because I found a really smooth surface outdoor. So I'm kind of really looking forward to that. No idea what electrics we'll put in it yet. So yeah, let's get building. So that's everything out. Things are very different when you're building a high-end kit like this. The kit is not laid out the same as a grasshopper, probably a bad example, but everything's just kind of all in together. So there's a little bit more work for you to build it. But that's pretty much like your screw bags. There's no bag A, bag B. It's just bags. You've got to identify them yourself. But as you can see, it's just absolutely ram-packed with the blue alloy. We've got the gorgeous shocks, all the carbon bits. Obviously it's full bearing set in it. Some of the steering things came with actual bearings fitted, which I didn't expect. So yeah, this is going to be epic. So manual wise, you've got your bog standard 415. Well, I say bog standard, it's still the MSXX, but then you have this different sheet here, which is all the changes on the 2007 Rheinard edition. So you got to sort of flick between them. Right, let's get building. So stage one is building the rear arms. As you can see, there's quite a bit of stuff that's involved in that. Then you jump on to stage 3, which is actually attaching the rear arms to the chassis. Which I've got to just grease those ball ends. Right, so obviously rear arms onto the chassis. If you've never built one of these kits, you have to be really careful. You really do need to measure things, because as I say, things are not marked. You've just got a bag full of different spacers, and there'll be 5, 6, maybe 7 different widths. So where you're looking at spacers here and a smaller one here, you have to actually measure them out, ideally with a vernier gauge if you have one. It's something you really can't guess, because some of them are very similar, and you get blue ones and silver ones, and it never denotes what colour to use. So yeah, you have to measure, but obviously it's a very precise racing kit. So yeah, I'm just, in case you weren't aware of that, I just thought I'd show you that. Anyway, next step is stage 4, which is to build the rear ball differential. Right, that's the rear ball diff built. Very nice piece of kit. Obviously got to be very careful not to over tighten. So I've adjusted it to what I think it should be. Applied the correct grease and what have you. Interestingly, I just assumed it was a ball diff on the front as well, but because you have to keep sort of flitting between the standard 415 MSXX manual and the Marc Rheinard edition, which this is, this comes with a front one-way setup in the kit. So there's more differences to this kit than I actually realised. But anyway, next step is stage 5, and that's to get the rear bulkhead fitted. And that's a 2-piece rear bulkhead on. There's a little fiddly washer you've got to put under here, which is different from a standard kit. So next up now is I've got to build, well, I'll put the ball ends on these brackets, and then the diff's going to go in with the belt, and then these are going to clamp it down. Right, so that's diff in, clamped down with these two on top of the bulkhead. Obviously the belt's in position. So next up we jump back to the normal manual, and we're going to build the drive shafts and a couple of turnbuckles to put all the rear end together. Right, that's up to section 8, where we've got the rear hubs together with the UJs built. Very precise. There's shims all over the place. But yeah, feels awesome. We've made 2 of the rear turnbuckles up, which are made to the right length. So just looking at the instructions now, it's just a case of putting all this back end on. Right, so that's basically the back end on. So obviously all the arms are on now, so it's all very free. It's the first time you sort of get to feel how smooth it is. And it's ridiculously smooth, as you'd expect. Can also first time really sort of feel the diff, and I think that feels good to me, to be honest. Just put that belt back in position. So yeah, that's that section done. So yeah, let's crack on. Right, latest progress. So we've now built the, let me just turn this round. So we've now built the centre pulley, of which your motor goes through here, obviously, powers that. That's quite an involved little unit on its own. There's a lot of shimming involved, and then these 2 alloy brackets go over it. Obviously now the rear belt's in position with the correct tension. We've also fitted this bit here, which the belt runs, the main front belt runs like that, so you can see how that goes. Yeah, very, very cool. This, really enjoying this build. It's a lot slower than I thought it was going to be. It's a lot more involved. It's so precise, but obviously you would expect that. But I mean, obviously I've built a brand new in-box TRF415. Now I know that's a buggy, but for precision I wouldn't have thought it would have been much different. Whereas this just seems so much more precise. Whether that's because it's a touring car and it needs to be, or is it a time thing? Is it an age thing? This is 2007. The 503 was 2014. So I don't know. Maybe it was built better. I don't know. But yeah, absolutely loving that. So yeah, let's bat on. Right, next up was that little steering mechanism. Very nice indeed. I should have said I'm thread locking throughout as I go. I'm not doing everything, but I'm doing a lot of it. So next stage is to fit the steering with some steering brackets to go on the chassis and the front bulkhead brace to go down. So yeah, let's get that done. Right, so that's in position. I said 2 brackets on the chassis, and there's got 2 spacers that go down. And then your full unit goes on. The front rear bulkhead arm holder is on, and obviously the belt runs underneath that. And that's how that works. So yeah, next up we're jumping back onto the main manual, and that's to build the front arms up. So let's get that done. Right, so front arms on. And everything else that goes with it, shimmed correctly. I think I might have made an error on the rear. I don't know if I've got I think I need to reshim the rear, because this is a little bit tighter and this is 100% correct. It's not a big issue, but it might be something I have to go back to at some point. What else we've done? So yeah, the bearing position and the front sway bar mounts are in. So looking at the instructions now, we're going to put the 2 small front bulkheads in, and then we're going to build the front way. In the manual they call it a front way differential, but in the 2007 instructions it's called the one-way spool. Right, and that's the front spooling. Now I've got confused, and I may have confused you guys. So they're calling it a differential on both manuals, but it's not. It's a fixed spool as far as I'm concerned, and it's not a one-way either. It's got to be called a fixed spool, hasn't it? So there's nothing going on with this at all. It's just fixed. So when power's down, forward and back, it's just locked. So that's interesting. One, that it's not a one-way, and secondly that it's not a differential. So yeah, I mean, that's obviously to do with how Marc raced in this, what was it, the Reedy International in 2007 with this front end on. But when I come to run it, that could make things a little bit awkward, because I'm not going to have No, sorry, I am going to have four-wheel braking, aren't I? Of course I am. It's just fixed, so just not going to have a diff working on the front end. Interesting, stick that in the comments, you race guys. I'd be very curious to know what the pluses and negatives are for that particular setup. You know me, I always like to learn. Right, let's get the top bulkhead brackets on next. Right, that's the front end on, and my fingers are throbbing from all these turnbuckles. Ow, really tight. So the top bulkhead brackets have gone on. Obviously all the hubs, carriers are on, wheel adapters are on, and the belt's tensioned correctly. Obviously it'll probably go a little bit stiffer once the carbon top deck goes on. But yeah, everything's, once you can, it's all pretty free. And then you've got your steering. So next up in the instructions is the front and rear sway bars. So yeah, let's get cracking. Right, that's the front sway bar mechanism on. A little bit of messing around with that, but you get the gist. And then the rear, which does that. Again, a little bit of messing around to get it set up correctly. But anyway, onto shock towers next, I believe. Right. So rear shock tower on with suspension mounts on, and at the front we have front shock tower on again with suspension mounts on. I've also fitted, obviously I'm doing the electrics later on this one, so I've just put the two servo mounts in, and also this thing. Got to admit, didn't have a clue what this was, and it's actually an air duct. So I guess it's designed to scoop the air in from underneath, and then it comes out of here and keeps your motor a bit cooler. Interesting. Never knew that's what it was. Right, I think next job is we'll stick the top deck on. Right, let's see, top deck on. Pulley down 6 places. There's also this another little bling here, which is your belt tensioner. That all feels great, to be honest. All very nice and smooth. So yeah, next job now is to build the shocks up. Right, shocks made, and they're gorgeous as you would expect. Different setup front and back, spring wise, beautiful. Front, I've just put a little plastic bumper on for now. There's body posts to go on, and then the foam big bumper, and then the top, but I'm not going to put that on just yet because that's going to be, I've got to mess around with the body shell first. And obviously we've got the front shocks on. It feels absolutely gorgeous. What a thing, my friends, what a thing. It's a real thing of beauty, this, it really is. It's gorgeous. Absolutely love it. What a thing. So I'll clear the bench off now, and then we'll have a good look at it, because not too much more I'm going to do with it at this stage. Right, so I've just put the foam bumper on, and it's got a carbon tower just to see that there should be body posts coming up front and back, obviously. But as I say, I've got a bit of work to do on the body shell, so I don't want to be taking them on and off. Obviously we've just put the kit wheels on. You don't get no tyres with this car. You don't even get a pinion with it, which I was quite surprised at. In fact, that's something I need to look at after I've made this video, in case I have to order something for it. And what a thing it is. It's absolutely gorgeous to look at. I mean, we all know the TRF is, but when you've just built one like this today, it's just like, oh yeah, that's incredible. And then just quickly from the other side. God damn, that's beautiful. Well, my friends, that was just awesome. I'd actually stopped for the day because my fingers were hurting with the turnbuckles, and I sort of went away for an hour, did something else completely different, and I thought I just had to come back to it and finish it, because just genuinely just so enjoyable. Absolute pleasure to put together. So yeah, I don't know what to tell you about it. You obviously know what it is. If you've never built a TRF kit before, especially a touring car and one of the older ones, you'll be shocked how precise it is. And as I say, you need a vernier gauge ideally, because all those spacers need washing. All those spacers need measuring to make sure everything's in the right place. I'm surprised about the front thick spool. Don't know how that's going to affect the handling and kind of general running. So again, yeah, if you could leave that in the comments, that'd be much appreciated. The difference from the 415 MSXX to this one, which is the 2007 Marc Rheinard, is pretty huge. I just thought it was a couple of things, but there's basically got the full manual, and then you've probably got a quarter of that manual again, which is just for this edition of the car. So many little tweaks to it, it's unreal, and it makes it quite complicated, because you go in your main manual following the numbers, but you're having to double check and cross reference on the other manual, and if it's got the same number, you jump onto that one. So that was a bit of an experience as well. So yeah, as I say, I'm really happy. Fantastic day's work. It's a bit late now here, but really enjoyed it. I'll sleep well tonight. And then when you see this car again, we'll get some electrics chosen for it. It'll be brushed. Got one of those high-end speedos we'll finally use. Don't know what motor yet. I'm thinking I've got an LRP. I think it's a 14 double. That might be a bit quick for it, to be honest. A 14 double's a quick motor, especially for a touring car, which is quick anyway. There's an LRP up there, which is a 19 turn. I might be better going with that. Anyway, I'll figure that out at a later date. We'll change the wheels and tyres, because I've got a proper set of Team Pirelli tarmac racing slicks all pre-glued. And we'll do that in the next video, and of course we'll get the body shell done. Now the body shell's been professionally painted for me already, and it's not in TRF colours, believe it or not. It's an eyeful, this thing, but I don't want to spoil it and show you it now. So yeah, we'll have to, because that's painted, the body holes are not put in, so that's going to be kind of the biggest job, is squaring it all up to get that body shell mounted. And then hopefully, if I can do that okay, then the fun part for me is putting the wing on and getting all the racing decals, because I want this to look like an out-and-out race car. And then after that, we'll make a third video and we'll take it out for a blast on some smooth tarmac and see how she does. And then it gets retired straight away, because this is my touring car TRF car for my collection. And that'll be it. That'll be my fourth TRF car, and that'll be it, unless I can find a 502X, maybe. Anyway, my friends, apologies if this video's dragged on, but I did it as quick as I could. So once again, thanks so much for watching. It is honestly massively appreciated. If you are new to this channel, if you could please give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell for our weekly videos. That would be hugely appreciated. And as always, my friends, happy air seeing.